But here's the truth. Quiet luxury isn't a color palette. I did a deep dive to discover why the mainstream chases after quiet luxury. So in this video, I want to show you what quiet luxury really means. Because if your life looks calm, but you're burned out, broke, and you're stuck doing work that you just hate, that's just maintaining a look. That's not wealth. I used to think quiet luxury was about beige tones and linen shirts. Until I realized this line of thought will cost you freedom. You'll end up broke, burned out, and still chasing someone else's definition of life. Turns out that real luxury doesn't come from a mood board. It comes from how you live. You've seen it all over Pinterest and Instagram. Beige linen outfits, minimalist kitchens, perfectly lit skin routines. It's beautiful. It's calm. It's aspirational. But here's the truth. Quiet luxury isn't a color palette. It's a byproduct of real lifestyle and financial freedom. And I would know. I've chased it in more than one place. Because if your life looks calm, but you're burned out, broke, and you're stuck doing work that you just hate, that's just maintaining a look. That's not wealth. That's actually performance. I know this personally. I grew up in a small village in South Africa. We didn't have much, but I still remember feeling like my life was full of small luxuries. Slow dinners, early mornings, community, and a deep sense of connection to nature. As I got older, I moved to the big cities. First for my studies, and then for work. I thought that luxury lived there. In high-rise apartments, in branded handbags, in jobs that look good on paper. Now I live in the Netherlands, where I've slowly designed a life that actually supports the freedom I was chasing all along. So in this video, I want to show you what quiet luxury really means and how to build a life that looks good because it feels good. A life designed around your values, your money, and your time. For me, there was a moment where it all changed. So I started building my version of luxury from scratch. Stay with me and I'll show you how at the end of this video. If you're new here, I'm Ivy K, and this is Living LyfStyled, where we build lifestyle and financial freedom without burnout, hustle, or waiting for someday. So if you're building your version of freedom, go ahead and subscribe. This space is for you. Let's talk about how aesthetics can be empty. Let's get something clear. Aesthetics aren't the enemy here. I love a calm space, a beautifully designed home. I love beauty, but when aesthetic is the goal and not the outcome of living a meaningful life, the aesthetic you are chasing becomes a trap. I've been there. I've tried achieving the same aesthetic in my own life. I've bought the candle, the planner, the throw blanket, hoping that those things would calm my chaos. But they didn't, because what I was really craving wasn't a cozy vibe. It was lifestyle freedom and the feeling that I was building wealth on my own terms. I'll never forget walking into a luxury store once to look for a handbag. I found one that I liked, but the assistant warned me the material was so delicate, I would basically need to baby the handbag. In that moment, I realized this handbag was just not for me. It gave me more responsibilities than the reward that it actually gave me. And if that's what luxury meant, maybe I didn't want it after all. But here's why people chase quiet luxury. I recently became a nerd over this. I did a deep dive to discover why the mainstream chases after quiet luxury. It turns out it's not about linen pants, neutral walls. It's deeper than that. So here's 5 things that I've noticed. Here's the first truth. People want status without the flash. People want to look successful without screaming it. No big logos, just quiet elegance that says, I've made it. This reveals that there's a deep cultural sense of tiredness from all the flashy consumerism. But at LyfStyled, we define status differently. We don't need designer pants to feel accomplished. We need a life where your values show up in your schedule, because real status is when your time belongs to you. So try this instead. Design a weekday where your richest moments is unplugging after lunch, not scrolling to keep up. And when you do this, ask yourself, what's one area in your week where your values aren't showing up yet? And how could you reclaim that? Truth number 2. People want control through curation. When life feels chaotic, we reach for calm. So we create neutral mood boards, minimalistic spaces, and perfectly curated routines. This reveals our society's deep desire for safety and order. But the truth is, order doesn't come from styling. It comes from systems, because systems reduce mental fatigue and they give you clarity, way more than any color palette or any color scheme ever could. That's why I choose to create systems around our house, not because it looks good, but because it works. So you could try this. Build a weekly routine that protects your peace before the world even comes knocking and asking for it. The systems incorporating this routine will help you curate control. Just start by asking yourself, what's one routine or system you could commit to this week? This will reduce the level of stress that you might have. The third truth that I found was that people are using aesthetics as a form of identity. Aesthetic is also about identity because people use style to reflect who they are or who they wish they were. The whole thought process behind it is that if my space looks elevated, maybe I'll feel elevated. This reveals that people have a longing to belong and be seen as someone with taste, restraint, and class. But here's the problem. A mood board can't carry your identity. Only you can. At LyfStyled, we design lives that reflect who we are, from the inside out. That means knowing your values, aligning your rhythm, and using your money intentionally. Luxury is showing up in the world as a person who's aligned with their true values, not just dressed up and styled to the tune of a mood board. Try this instead. Choose one daily practice that feels aligned with you and who you want to be. Then make it a non-negotiable. Create time to do that daily practice and tell people around you what you're doing so that they give you space and the time that you need to actually take care of yourself. To help you along, ask yourself, what would change in your life if you stopped trying to impress other people and start living in alignment with what you truly want? The fourth is that people want to escape from the overstimulation. We're all overwhelmed and craving stillness. So we scroll calmness into our feeds and shop it into our carts. Essentially, we end up creating a digital detox fantasy, embodied in fabric, lighting, and textures. But calm isn't something you scroll into your life. It's something you create. And you don't need a $600 sweater to slow down. Instead, you need to know what enough looks like for you. If you fail at this, you will always be chasing success as defined by other people. In my home, we've defined what enough means for us. We even have a number for the monthly income in our shared account that would be enough to live our ideal lifestyle. It wasn't that hard to figure out how much we needed once we had a clear definition what enough meant for us. Trust me, once you've defined it, the noise will get quiet. So try this. Take about 20 minutes to unplug. Then ask yourself, what does enough look like for me? And what would I do if I already had it? Pause this video right now if you want to, and comment down below. What does enough really look like for you? Just be honest with yourself. I read every comment and I'll be responding to a few with personal insights. The fifth is rebellion against loud consumerism. Quiet luxury is also a form of rebellion. Pushback, a rejection of excess. No hauls, no hype, just I have enough. This reveals that people are generally just tired of chasing and spending. And I agree with that rebellion. I agree with it actually quite deeply. But don't stop at the wardrobe. Rebel in your finances, your goals, your schedule, and apply that rebellion till you achieve your lifestyle and financial freedom. My rebellion came when I used the transition fund calculator to figure out how to buy back 3 months of time from my 9-to-5 job. I'm using that time to extend my legal maternity leave. And because I know what I'm buying, I know exactly what that time is going to be used for, it deeply aligns with my life. So try this. Ensure that you are able to buy back your time when no one else is willing to give it to you. Use the transition fund calculator to figure out how much it will cost for the desired time that you want to buy back. Because when you know exactly the lifestyle that you are buying, how you will be using that time, it is worth every cent. My question to you is, if you had 3 months off from your work, fully funded, what would you do with that time? Let me know in the comments below. Your answer might just inspire somebody else to do the same thing. You'll find the transition fund calculator linked below. It's one of the most powerful tools I've used to design real quiet luxury in my life. And I'd love for you to try it out. This isn't just a calculator. It's a tool to buy back your time just like I did. After the deep dive that I did on quiet luxury, this is what I learned. Quiet luxury isn't about looking calm. Real luxury is about owning your time, protecting your energy, and funding the life that you want. That wealth that you seek, the kind that lets you breathe, sleep, and live on your own terms, comes from inside. From your systems, from your schedule, from your savings. If this episode sparked something for you, go ahead and click the subscribe button down below. Because next, I'll show you exactly how I've used these principles to design a life of quiet luxury here in the Netherlands, which is one of the top 5 happiest places to live in the entire world. I'll see you in that video.